What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns climbing back upon Mount Soapbox for another rant. And if you have a rant suggestion for a future episode, be sure and send it my way via the comment section, Facebook, Twitter, or email GeauxBurns@gmail.com. Now, originally I was going to rant about daylight savings, but this is a gaming channel, not a daylight savings channel. But anyways, I feel like I was robbed out of that hour's worth of sleep, but I'll get it back this fall, I suppose. In all seriousness, I've been thinking about making a video about this for a while now. And I thought it was very fitting because a few days ago, we had International Women's Day, which was on Wednesday, March 8th. And by the way, it's something we should all celebrate because if it wasn't for your mom, you wouldn't be here. I realize your dad had something to do with it as well, but your mom's the one that carried your sorry self for 9 months or less, So, yeah, that's how I feel about the subject. Without women, we wouldn't be here. Women are just as important as men. And we discussed this during the latest international podcast over on Carrick's channel, ACG. By the way, Carrick is one of the best reviewers out there for video games. FYI, independent or AAA games, he's the absolute best. So be sure and check him out if you haven't done so already. And there's a very good possibility that that international podcast is already up on his channel. Sometimes it is. Sometimes the gremlins get all of it and gobble it up to little pieces, unfortunately. But if it is up there, feel free and go check it out. But I was already planning on doing this rant video before we had that discussion regarding female characters in video games, specifically protagonists. Now, throughout gaming history, there have been a few female protagonists. For example, Samus Aran from Metroid, Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, Joanna Dark from Perfect Dark, even Princess Zelda from Legends of Zelda. Not in all the Zelda games, but there are definitely some, just like Breath of the Wild, where she plays a more active role in helping Link take down Ganon than simply just the typical damsel in distress. And even Princess Peach, or as I used to know her as, Princess Toadstool, back in Super Mario Bros. 2, and I think even a couple of the other Super Mario games, she had also a more active role than simply being the objective of the game, captured by Bowser, and you have to save her. Sometimes Princess Peach actually did a little bit of help along the way, but in a sense, she is a protagonist as well, along with Faith from Mirror's Edge, Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite. Now, obviously, you don't play as Elizabeth, but she's a very important character in the game, and I wouldn't necessarily call her the damsel in distress type. And of course, most recently, Aloy, a.k.a. Allie, as I so affectionately call her in Horizon Zero Dawn. So, yes, there have been a few female protagonists in video games, and there's several more out there. However, there have been way more male protagonists in video games, and that number is ridiculously crazy. I mean, there's probably, I would say, a bazillion more male characters than female characters when it comes to a protagonist in a game. Now, despite the fact that women are working in the video game industry, and a growing percentage of gamers are female, getting on to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC, and of course the brand new Switch to play the new Zelda, most games that are coming out in 2017 and in the future will most likely have male protagonists. But what really grinds my gears, and I've heard this a lot over the past few months, and look, I respect everybody's opinion. Even if I completely disagree with you, you're entitled to your opinion. We're all entitled to be stupid too, but anyways, and not everybody feels the same exact way about this particular subject. We'll talk about that in a moment. What really bothers me is when I hear male gamers out there who refuse to play a video game simply because they don't want to play as a female character. Now, there's two classifications you can put them into, because I'm not going to lump everybody into the same classification. One where, guys generally, they just don't want to be a female character. They have nothing against women at all. They just rather play as a male character. Okay, that's cool. But you know what? There's plenty of female gamers out there that would prefer playing as a female character over a male character. But then there's also the other group of male gamers who have their obvious reasons for not playing as a female character. And I think that's bullshit. I think that we live in an age now in the 21st century with equality in most countries. And I believe that women can be heroes too. Women can be protagonists as well. And if you have a problem with a female character in a video game, then you have to start asking yourself, well, where do you draw the line? Are you going to stop reading certain books or watching certain TV shows or movies because there's female protagonists? Is that where you're willing to draw the line? Because once again, video games are, at the end of the day, another form of entertainment. Now, I'm not forcing people to go play a video game even if you don't want to, because there's plenty of games out there that I've never played, that I don't want to play for whatever rhyme or reason. It's your prerogative. It's your right to play or not play games and to have your opinion about a certain type of games. But when it comes to simply not playing a video game because you're going to have to play as a female character, that is, I hate to say this, I'm going to be blunt, ridiculous. For one thing, like I said, it's a video game. And you know something? I played as a male character in plenty of video games, and I played as female characters in video games. And I'll say something else. In games where you can create your own character, male, female, different species, races, a lot of times, yes, admittedly, I will create a female character. Why? Because I can. Because I accept the fact that it's a video game. Because that's not me in the game. Now, it's cool when there's games like Skyrim where you can play that way, and definitely I do that, but I also, whenever I go back and replay a game like Skyrim, I may play as a male character first, but then I want to go back and play as a female character and play it a little bit differently. Maybe be an archer, maybe be a mage, or be an elf. That's one thing I love about certain video games. You can play it whichever way you want to. You have the freedom to experiment, to explore new possibilities and ideas that you normally couldn't in real life. So that's one big reason why I love video games. Your ability to play as various types of characters, whether they're male, female, black, white, alien, doesn't matter to me. And another issue I have with all you guys that refuse to play a video game is simply because the main character is female. You are missing out on some fantastic video games like Metroid, Tomb Raider, and most recently, Horizon Zero Dawn. It's an awesome game on the PlayStation 4. Unfortunately, I've been playing a lot of Zelda lately because I have a problem, okay? I mean, I've been a Zelda fan since I was a kid back in the 80s with the original on the NES, okay? So I have an excuse. But eventually, I am going to go back and continue playing Horizon Zero Dawn because it's a beautiful game. It looks good. There's a great story. It's a lot of fun. And if you're not going to play the game simply because of the fact you play as a female, then that's on you. And if for whatever rhyme or reason you believe that by not playing as a female character in a video game, it's going to, usher in the end of female characters, then you're fooling yourself, because there are female gamers out there. That number is continuing to grow. There are women in the video game industry now. There are plenty of subscribers in the GeauxBurns Nation who are female. Obviously not the majority, but, it's growing. So ladies, hope you all had a good Women's International Day or International Women's Day. And the final point when it comes to females in video games, like it or not, female protagonists aren't going anywhere. So you can either A, get with the times and start to enjoy these video games that you've been missing out on just because you don't want to play a female in a video game. And newsflash, just because you play a female in a video game doesn't mean you're going to start questioning your sexual identity, okay? You're still going to be a male at the end of the day, all right? Or maybe that's the reason why you don't want to play as a female in a video game. Maybe you're afraid you might like being a girl. I don't know. But in all seriousness, give a video game a chance. If it's getting good reviews, if a ton of people are loving to play the game, like Horizon Zero Dawn on the PlayStation 4, or Tomb Raider, or Metroid, or Perfect Dark. I really wish we had another Perfect Dark game. I loved the first one. I didn't really care for Perfect Dark Zero as much, but it would have been really cool if we would have saw another game with Joanna Dark in it. But anyways, if there's a game out there that you've heard nothing but praise about, that you never gave a chance because of a female character, I highly suggest you think about it, because chances are you probably have at least one woman, one female in your life that means the world to you, whether it's a sister or a girlfriend or a wife or a grandma. Somebody in your life happens to be a woman that means the world to you, and maybe, just maybe, you ought to play a video game that has a woman in it. It doesn't mean overnight you're going to start changing who you are as a person. It's just like opening a book with a female character or watching a movie with a female character or a TV show with a main female character. Not going to change anything about you, but it's just another form of entertainment that for whatever rhyme or reason you are missing out on.